right. Hey, Jasmine. How are you? Happy birthday. Let me know if you're here. I do have your question. Oh, let me lower this. All right, I'm going to get started with your question. For cheating me on my year-end review. Damn, that sucks. Ego. So I got right away the 5 of Fire, the Ace of Air, and the Ego card, and I feel like she will. There's gonna be like some, I want to say like bothersome details that come out from this. And I'm also seeing her having conflict with others. So I don't see this being like just an issue with you. I feel like this is an issue with like a collective. So I don't know if she does have a few people under her, but I'm seeing that there's issues with a few people. You may hear about this because I have the Ace of Air. I feel like she's gonna have some type of challenging beginning coming up for her, where she's like very either negative or fear, like a person that's like very negative or has like fear-based thoughts. And I'm seeing like someone who's also very like overly focused on material things. So it's like even though she shows up as having like confidence, deep down she doesn't. Oh yeah, but it's all good. I'll be adding this to my employee engagement survey. Yeah, I definitely would. Because I'm seeing like something needs to be aired out here, because I don't think people that like higher ups are knowing what's going on. But it's like she's kind of competing with the people that's under her, like that she's supposed to be like overseeing. So yeah, there's a big thing of competition here with her. And like I said, there's gonna be some bothersome details that may come out from this. Show me more. The 7 of Fire. Yeah, Spirit's saying like defend your beliefs, like stand on what you believe in. Don't, if you feel like you were wrong, speak up on it. Stand your ground. Obviously, choose your battles wisely. So, let's just say a friend tells you about certain things. Don't bring them into it. Let them express themselves too. But maybe you could just say, you know, I'm not the only person this is happening to. And I feel like another thing, hold on, let me put subscribers more. I knew I was forgetting something. Oh, you do? Yeah, I would definitely use that. Like, save it, do everything with her. Like, have your paper trail because, like I said, stand on business with her. Stand 10 toes down. Obviously, choose your battles wisely. So don't just nitpick, but just have like you said, like you have your proof, you have your receipts. Definitely use that to your advantage. And I feel like with the 9 to 5, it's all about like not giving up. It's all about protecting what you've created. It's about having courage and like believing in yourself. So again, it's like that card of like standing on business. Don't be afraid to speak up because I think something needs to be aired out because I feel like she's doing this to one too many people. And she's actually causing like conflict. Oh, you did? Yeah. Yeah, like the 3 of fire. So yeah, you'll have your abundance is what I'm getting. You'll receive some type of abundance. To me, I feel like this is a card where things are looking very good. Just you're gonna need patience and also like start making long-term plans. You know, my sister just had an issue too where like she feels like her raise should have been much more. And I said, you know, you're not ever, when you're working for somebody, you're not ever going to like, I'm not gonna say you're not ever because that's so limiting, but there's gonna be times where you're not gonna get what you feel you deserve. And the 8 of water is like, you know, that card of like maybe thinking about moving on, searching for something more meaningful, more like where you can spiritually and emotionally grow, financially grow. Maybe this is like your how do you say that, like a dead zone, at least while she's there is what I'm getting. The 4 of earth with the star. Yeah, this is like getting your wish fulfillment. It's just about right now just being cautious, doing what you need to do to get yourself maybe out of there if that's what you're wanting. I do feel like she will get her karma. It just seems like it's gonna be a process rather than something that happens quickly. But again, you get to decide like how quick this happens. You know, you are the energy creator here, so I would even write like the command letters and the FU letters. Like I sent you the video yesterday. Yeah, I think so. I would definitely use that. But yeah, I feel like you're gonna have something more like long term wise that's gonna be coming your way. Like you're on the right path is what spirit is saying. Like this is like it's almost like how I can say it is like when I started affirming that I was gonna be a full-time entrepreneur, I got let go from 2 jobs, both like 2 years to the date, right? Like 1 year this happened like this date, and then the following year happened to the date, girl. And I literally both times I had decided to start affirming, and the one was literally overnight, affirming to be a full-time entrepreneur, and then the other one was like I was already like, damn, what am I gonna be doing? And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna start affirming again. And next thing you know, that same week I was let go. And with when I tell you that I was let go with no explanation, that till this day when I tell people the story, they're like, but it makes sense to me because of what I was doing. So I feel like you're on the right path. It's almost like these are things that are happening because this ain't your end goal, and you're not meant to stay here. Yeah, so you're gonna see things in your 3D that's not gonna go with like that may go, and it doesn't happen to everyone, but from my experience I will say, yeah, I've always went through like some type of hump before something like great happens. Not with everything, but I think the things that I'm more emotionally attached to. But yeah, overall I will say she will. It's more about a phase of you just getting out too though. Yeah, keep claiming it. It's gonna happen. I feel like what scared me the first time was because I have people tell me like, oh, it's not gonna work, or like not that it wasn't gonna work, it's gonna take a lot of time. And so I was just so focused on that, and then before I knew it, like I was back in another job and I hated that fucking office. Like I hated that law firm. A lot of people go through it. That's why I still teach that because then people don't have like aren't too surprised when things start to like, it's almost like they say like things fall apart before they come back together. I don't dread in that energy, but it's like sometimes when things are, you're emotionally attached to them, things have to have certain things happen. They do. um I've experienced them, especially when it comes to work. Yeah. Hi Gypsy, how are you? Oh, what did you realize? Exactly, it's hard. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, trust me. And then when you're getting readings and people are saying the opposite, it's like, no, but you get to decide what version he is. And you just have to keep reminding yourself of that until he fully shows up. That's why I was saying, don't, what people fuck up at is they start rejecting their manifestation. When, here's the thing, you could still be in contact with him and still be affirming for a better version. But if you keep pushing that away, sometimes it gets a little harder to bring it back. But also, it's whatever people believe. You know, that's what why law of assumption is so fun. Because it's whatever you assume. And that's why even too for like a job, when somebody wants a higher position at a certain company, I've seen this happen. When especially when I was, trust me, I've seen so much stuff happen because remember I was in a manifestation group for a few years, um, where they're manifesting like this high position in this company. They get an interview at the company, right? And now they're starting them off at a different position. And then the person goes and rejects it because it's like, well, that's not what I wanted. But it's like, that's a foot in. Sometimes natural things have to unfold. You know, is there always going to be that way? No. But it's like, put it this way. If you went to sleep tonight and you woke up in Jamaica, you'll probably be like, what the fuck? How the fuck did that happen? And we question ourselves. We question, like, did that really happen? There's a thing. I will say you need to forget about the apology. I'm going to tell you that you're holding on to a past thing that you have to let go of. Like, it's your ego that's wanting that apology. You have to let go, because this is the thing. You can't bring in a new version of him while still focus on an old him. Now, if an apology has to happen, which you feel like it does, it will naturally happen. You just have to forget about the apology. Like, you just have to, if the apology is your end goal, then cool. But if your end goal is to be with a completely different version of him, you have to forget about that apology. You just have to forget, because the thing is this, you're still bringing up the old him, the old situation. The old story is still so alive because you're so pressed on that apology that it's holding you back. If anything, it's holding you back. That's how I learned. Like, they'll tell you, like, I mean, how I learned was, do not create reunion scenes Do not focus on an apology, because this is the thing. If you're focused on an apology, then you're not focused on the end goal. If the end goal is to be with this person, unless you don't really want to be with him and you just want an apology. If you're wanting to be with him, your only focus should be the end goal. Like, it should just be the end goal. Once, and the apology will naturally come. Yeah, you have to. This is the thing. It's like when you're manifesting someone, you're not manifesting change in them. You're manifesting a different version of them. But if you're focused on shit that happened in the past, that's why you keep getting the same version of him. Like the one that comes in and really don't got much to say or don't really have much to give. That's exactly why. The only thing you have to focus on, you don't even have to watch anything else, is what is your end goal? If you decided that I want to be with this man, even let's just say it's marriage, then you should be focusing on the point after marriage, where you guys are already married and living together. Everything else will fall into place. Like I said, if he has to come back, that's why he's not coming back with an apology, because it's like you're still, like I said, you're still manifesting the old him. And that's why he hasn't brought an apology to you. Exactly. Yep. That's why too I had to stop getting readings, because people will be like too focused on like, oh well, he's gonna have to apologize, or he knows he's gonna have to go like above and beyond. Nah, because that's the old version. The new version is clean. Even my girl that I used to get the channel readings from, who, I don't want to say no names on here, but I had to stop because I felt like it was just too much of the personal input. And when you're manifesting, this is the thing, manifestation is not logical. Mm-hmm. Too much of personal input, and I don't really care for that. Like, the thing is, like, this is why I was telling one of my friends, because she, over the weekend, she was getting a ton of readings. And, like, I feel like, she was saying, like, she even went to a medium, and, like, they were saying, like, her and her person weren't getting back together. And I'm telling you, like, all my cards were, like, that's not true. Like, he ain't thinking about none of that. Yesterday they were totally fine, and I'm telling her, I'm like, you're psyching yourself out going to readers, especially when you are just not feeling good. And a lot of times readers just go by whatever. The projection, yeah. And to me, it's like, you know I'm gonna tell you something. When I stay away from readings, like, things just fall into play. That's just the truth. There's nothing against it. I love getting readings, but I've learned to just tread lightly. And a lot of readers are too logical. That's why I say, when you really enter this journey, this is a journey. You're so much more awakened that you can see things on a way bigger scale than even tarot readers. And I'm not saying that because it's me, but even like my people that I've coached one on one, they'll tell you, like, I have people that don't get readings at all. Like, they've never done tarot. But um yeah, I'm still open. Unless it says closed, I'm still open. Yeah, I'm on a way, like I see things completely different. Tarot is tarot. It's just a tool. But a lot of readers, yeah, like they'll stay stuck to the old. They're basing the reading off of the old story. So when you come and see, it's like, yeah, and I mean, still, you're still manifesting the old version of him, so you're still seeing something there, but they'll focus too much on the what he needs to do, and it's like, no, he don't. Like I've learned, because I was coached for 2 years, the apology will come. If there needs to be an apology for someone's behavior, it will come. Yeah. I'm sure we've all heard the saying. What is it? Um, if you expect the worst, then bad things. If you expect bad things to happen, then they'll happen. If you expect good things to happen, they'll happen. That's kind of how I feel about law of assumption. You could post them. Yeah, it's like when you know what you're doing. Like I said, if you know that you're putting the work in, don't question it. Because I just went through that. Like I'm putting the work in, and it makes you feel like, oh my god, all this work I put in and still nothing has changed. Where when I've taken breaks and then I've gotten like just an energy check, you'll completely see a completely different energy show up. But again, you shouldn't need that. Um, with hold on. Um, um, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, so like me personally, I've been seeing like, remember how I told you, like he posted something using my lingo. Like nobody uses this specific way that I say stuff, and I specifically said this to him last year. He used it to the date that I told him, and then I went and, was getting readings, and it's like, well, like he's still in his ego, like he's afraid, and, he's still like hesitant, and like, you know, he's being stubborn. But then I was like, let me use my logic. The other day I was like, okay, logically speaking, somebody who is stubborn, who is in their ego, who is in fear, is not going to openly, boldly use this person's lingo specifically. Like I always say, like the wind is disrespectful, or like, oh my god, this weather is so disrespectful. I'll be saying shit like that, right? That's what he used. He said it's so disrespectful outside, and then his next post was about weather, and I'm like, so I knew that's what he was talking about, and I'm like, a person that's all of those things is not going to do that. Like that's just logic. Like I sometimes you gotta use your logic, and that's I told my friend the other day, I was doing giving her readings. And it was like and I said, girl, use your fucking now. Like, if this was true, like, if true, would this be happening? No. Yeah, your mental diet is always going to be everything. That's why I say pick a few affirmations and keep those in your bag. All right, Yami, let's see. What can Yami expect in her job? Girl, don't you, do you get what I'm saying? And this is the thing, been baiting for months and me not really even seeing this shit for what it is. Been baiting since everything happened last year. And I just, because readers are like, no, like, you know, don't do it. Like, or like they'll segregate this story. And then it's like, no. You know what? When I started liking his stuff on my own, he started viewing my stuff again. This was back in September, I think it was. I was just like, why am I hesitant to like his stuff? Like, who cares? It's fucking Instagram. If he didn't want me on it, he would block me. Like, you know. You know how many times I've thought of something and he's posted it? And I've never even told that I didn't even tell nobody or posted it myself. You know what I mean? So I'm like, let me be logical about this shit. Like, if that was the case, like, if a man is so stubborn and so egoistical and so, like, in his high mighty high horse, whatever, he wouldn't use specific things that I've said. So, yeah, so that I didn't like because I didn't, but it's like been little things that he's posted. I'm like, I would like a video and no bullshit, like he'll repost it like a day or two later. Like, that's not coincidental. Like, it's one thing if it happens but it's like stuff that's happening all the time. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta go with your gut and your logic. He reaching out to you, right? Like, so like I said, you can still manifest what you're wanting even while you guys are in communication. That will make it probably like even your manifestation even stronger, because now you're for sure, I mean, you're always in their energy, but I'm just saying there's more closer proximity, you know. Yeah, he know what he's doing. You know what, last night I literally wrote my command letters, my FE letters, and I literally said, you know what, I'm throwing in the towel. I'm not gonna be petty. I'm not playing the games no more, like, period. All right, let's see, what can Jamie expect in her, wait, at her job this year? What can she expect here? And you know, the readers are not wrong. They're just reading off of from their own perspective. And that's exactly why we say readings are for entertainment purposes only. You're not supposed to base your life decisions off of it. Even my older sister, she gets readings from me, and she says sometimes, you know, she says the way I read though is like I give her like enough information where she's like, okay, I can see both sides of the coin. Where, you know, I think she used to go to Woo. She said she never really saw both sides of the coin. It was always like, you know, and she said it would fucking confuse her. But I'm like, and then she said when she stopped, like, she would just, and even with me, she knows, like, she only gets readings, like, you know, every few weeks. She's like, yo, the energy is so different. Like, I don't feel anxious. I'm like, yeah, because you're not supposed to be feeling that way. You're not supposed to leave a reading feeling confused or anxious. Literally, readings are for clarity. So if you're leaving a reading confused or anxious, then either you have to like get grounded or give yourself a little break. So Yami, what I'm seeing here, first of all, you're showing up as the Empress. So this is all about abundance. I feel like if you right now have a certain goal when it comes to work, whether it's like a new position, a raise, more money, it's time to like put that vision into plan. Whether it's like through prayer, through affirming, through like any type of manifesting, any type of creating. Because remember, the Empress is Mother Earth. She's the creator. She's the one that gives life to everything. So it's almost like if you have like certain beliefs when it comes to money, try to dissolve them. Like like if you have certain like negative beliefs when it comes to money, like try to dissolve them with like positive ones. So yeah, I feel like you have the chance to like, well, I mean, you always have the chance to manifest. So I would say like focus on manifesting what you're wanting. The high priestess here, they're saying this is about having patience, you know. Also, um, I mean, you already kind of have your what you're wanting. You're wanting a promotion. So I would definitely say like trust yourself and knowing that you will get it, because again, the high priestess is here is about trusting yourself. Keep things private. If like, let's just say there's a position that you apply for, like don't tell anyone, keep it to yourself. Don't show your hands, like even to close friends at work. The Knight of Swords is here, which is all about like things happening fast. I feel like once you get into that energy, or like I always talk about timelines, once you like get into like that assurance of yourself that like I'm gonna get this promotion this year, I feel like things start to move really fast for you. um you have the Seven of Water, and I feel like they're saying stop procrastinating. I'm also getting when you're gonna receive, I do feel like you're gonna receive some type of promotion, but they're saying take time before you make a decision on it. So like, let's just say don't just rush into it and be like yes because it's a promotion. It's more about like, make sure that everything matches what you're wanting, because you don't want to take a promotion just because of promotion, but then the money doesn't add up, and then the caseload is so much more than what you're getting paid. Because I feel like also too with the Knight of Air is like negotiate things, get clear on what you're wanting, how much you want to make, and that way you have a plan in mind of like, this is what I want to make. If they give me something lower, then I can meet them at this point. Exactly. Yeah, I will start like, I would definitely start manifesting it now. Um, show me more. Oh shoot. The Page of Air, the Ten of Water. That's like the Ten of Cups. The Page of Airs is all about see, I feel like, yeah, I feel like when you get this promotion, just make sure that it's all aligning with what you're wanting. It's again talking about taking time to before you give them a complete yes. You have the Ton of Water here though, so it does talk about your emotional material needs being met. It's about trusting yourself. To me, again, it's about trusting yourself and your decisions with the High Priestess. If you happen to find, or like this could be something where like a different job lands on your lap and the money is really good, just do your research. You have the Seven of Fire, the Sun, the Ace of Water, the Two of Fire, the Chariot. Give me one more. And the King of Water. With the Seven of Fire, I feel like this is like when they're saying like defend your beliefs, it's more about like, to me again, being negotiable. So let's just say you want a raise of like 6,000 this year, right? I'm just throwing out a number of $6,000 more. Then what is your happy medium? Like if they were to be like, well, we can't give you 6,000, but we can possibly give you 3. Don't settle for 3 if your happy medium is gonna be like 4 or 5. Just be vocal. Just I feel like the more assertive you are, the more um the more they'll respect it and the more they'll want to like give you what you're wanting, because I feel like they want to keep you there. And I feel with the Sun, you're gonna get your happy outcome. I feel like too, is this is all coming down to like having confidence in yourself, to be honest. It's more about your confidence within self. Tied to either, I always go with what is, yeah, exactly. And I feel like they're gonna try to like accommodate you and your needs. I have the Ace of Water, so I feel like there's gonna be in this, while this is happening, because they're not giving me a time frame, you're gonna be going through like spiritual growth and like enhancing, like your intuition is going to be enhanced. So it's going to be easier for you as time goes on to make decisions. And I feel like you could probably even like re-fall in love with your job. So just like keep that in mind. The Two of Fire, see, that's a contract card. That's a card of contracts. So I do see you signing, like maybe not like a contract, but I do see you getting promoted, and I do see something that helps you continue to move forward. I feel like too, there's like it's something like in the back of my head that keeps saying something about education. So this could be something where like you can expand your education on, or maybe they'll pay to expand your education. Something kind of is standing out to me with education. This could be like a position where you've never done it, but they're willing to like put in the time, money, and effort for you to learn the job. And then you have the Chariot, which is all about important achievements, progress. You receiving public recognition. As long as you stay self-disciplined and you're like your end goal, I feel like you got it. And then you have the King of Water, which is all about I feel like keep an open mind. Keep an open mind when it comes to your job. Like keep an open mind, keep an open heart, because I feel like there's something that is probably like you don't even have in your like, how do you say that? Like in your vision that's going to happen for you. Like something major. Let me just confirm. Clarify this. Yeah, you see the Six of Swords? It's going to be a big transition for you, is what I'm getting here. The Devil. This is why I feel like keep things like don't tell anyone what your plans are, because I feel like people can start to cloud your mind with like doubts. Okay, so like yeah, I just feel like there could be people that try to cloud your, like start to make you doubt yourself, and then you start to see things a little bit blurry with the Judgment in the reverse. So get rid of self-doubt, and also be mindful of who you're sharing information with. Yeah, there's a need to keep things to yourself, you see? That's like the main theme here. And then there's progress. Keep yourself grounded. This is also a manifestation card. Is a card of being goal-oriented. Focus on the goal that you're wanting. Yeah, you see the Eight of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Eight of Wands. Like things moving really quickly for you. And I'm seeing like you are going to be, whatever this is like something, again, putting in the effort to like educate yourself. Or like, again, it could be something, a position that where there's going to be like a long extended like training. Because I also don't want to fall into a bubble of confusion. Accepting to accept. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel like just take your time. If like, let's say it comes up tomorrow, just make sure that when you do, like, do your calculations. Make sure that it's going to be worth your time, especially for the amount of work. That you're not going to be doing a tougher job for pennies. So that's what I have for you. I hope that was helpful. Gossipy people, not going to lie. I love the gossip, but yeah, now when it comes to my person, yeah, I'm like, I listen to gossip all the time. But I don't tell people like stuff that I'm working on and stuff like that. Not because, like, even when I did my lip glosses, I did lip glosses a few years, 3 years ago. And nobody knew. Only I did. Not because I thought people would block me, but it was just something that I wanted to keep to myself until I had it all, like, you know, together. You're welcome. Yeah, once it manifests, once it happens, yep. I hope everyone's having a good Monday. Hey, boo, I'm good. How are you? No, that's not. What is today's date? Today's date. I think I did the 9th. Oh, what's wrong? Mm, what is today? So they did the 9th. Okay, let me go there. Or you know what? Let me see. No. Girl, that's why I stay away from those people. Yeah, I gotta stay away from those people. That's why, you know what? Hold on, I'm trying to find something. Sorry. It was Saturday. At what time? Okay, 3 or 4. So Saturday was the 10th. I don't be telling people shit because of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Girl, you know what I've experienced? You know what I experienced with you know whom? And that's what it always came down to. Like, and just 250 something. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Exact girl, the tone and the look. That's the that's the number one um oh, you will not receive an email confirmation. Okay. Thank God I took a screenshot. Okay. All right, I found what I was looking for. I was like kind of scared. The look and the, yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like, now people expose themselves all the time. Yeah, and sometimes you know what's crazy? I mean, like, it be people that be sometimes you feel like are doing better than you. Like, I remember when like all that stuff happened with like you know whom. I'm like, first of all, I mean my channel used to have a lot of traffic. I mean, it still does, but at the time it was like crazy traffic, and I'm like, your shit grew even faster than mine. Like, she hasn't hit the 1K yet, but at the time, like she had hit like 200 in 1 month, and it's like, why are you so mad at me? Like, you got so much more than me, or at least at the time, momentum like was there. But you know what I realized too, Anila? As soon as I stepped away, that just stopped growing. So that just goes to show. Exactly. And it's your light. What time were you on last? I didn't even get a notification. I also was over here, girl, exactly. Um, you know what's crazy that I was over here doing my little letters. Yes, for your energy. Yep, for your light. It's kind of fucking crazy. That goes to show that you have much more than them. That's how I look at it. I was up at one point though. Um, remember I told you, like, I don't know if you remember me telling you this. I'm pretty sure I did. When I first came to YouTube, at first I was only doing daytime. Then girl, I would go on at 2 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, and you just get that traffic. Like, as long as you're getting that traffic, it's good. Exactly. Because you get different crowds. Yes, you need to do. I was gonna tell you earlier. You need to do a 1K celebration live. Yeah, that's what I used to like. Whenever I hit a certain number, um, I would do like big. I mean not big, but I would do the lives, the celebration lives. For my 1K, I think I did an hour of free 3 card readings, like little, like mini readings. I think that's what. Yeah, it was a madhouse in here. I think I did like 45 readings that day. Or I think we had 45 people on the list, and I think like 3 people just missed your turn. It was like, yeah, because I did 3 lists of 15 people, and if they weren't here for their reading, then they just wasn't here. Because that's when everybody started to show up. Like, everybody was like, boom, boom, boom. Or I think that was for my no, that was for my 1K. Yep. We did 3 lists of, I think, 15. It was either 13 or 15. At that time I had a few mods. So like one person had one list, the second person had another list, the third person had the other list. Um and they could ask whatever, nothing general, no generals. And it was like a 3 card reading, you know, short and sweet. Girl, yeah, do that. And then it was just that, like, if you were not here when you were called, then it is what it is. Like, you missed your turn, because we were not gonna be here all day either. And what I did too, you know what, at the time, like, my people that like were coming in like all the time, you know what, I actually had to do a separate live for them, actually, because so many people came in for the free readings that then I just did like a private one for like the people that always donate. But if you could get them on the list, like that would be good. Just appreciation, you know, because you're gonna have a lot of the people that don't ever really show up, try to get in where they fit in. That's why I think it was in my house, because it's like I just didn't plan it. I just was like, fuck it, we're gonna do this. And then it was like crazy. I was like, oh my God. I didn't know it was gonna be that crazy. Yeah. No, I hear you for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I think I did mine on a Friday or Saturday evening. It was something like that. I was just was here. She would tell you like it was fucking crazy in here. All right, yeah, I'm about to head out. I was on here talking to you. I was about to head out earlier, but it's all good. I'll talk to you later. I'm sure I'll text you. Bye.